Hello, everybody! Anime Reflux and such. We have a bell intro now. Apparently, that's how that works. It was intentional. Promise. Uh,
Clearly.
yeah. Hmm. Uh, I apologize if I'm a little sleepy sounding. It's because I'm sleepy. Um,
Well,
so anime this week is Fractale. It's an odd one. Is the best I can say.
yeah, it's certainly unique.
I actually wouldn't call it unique
Yeah, I wouldn't call
because
it unique either. I was looking for a word.
I think we've
Um,
watched like three anime that have this exact premise,
yes.
like down to the setting.
So to kind of go into this, um, this show it drops you in without much context for the setting at all.
Yeah.
So there's
Sorry.
um
Good.
kid, his name is Klain. He's sitting at the dinner table, and he's talking with his parents. Except his parents are these weird amorphous blobs. Same with his dog,
Hmm.
and that certainly caught my attention.
I'm actually an idiot. I have seen this. I forgot that we didn't actually record an episode on this. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I saw this one. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool. Uh. Yeah. So things are weird blob things, and he is a person. Which okay. As I tend to do, I forgot the synopsis that we read when we first choose these anime. So I was like, okay, so maybe this is like a virtual reality kind of thing. So the people are just the avatars,
Mhm.
is what I was thinking initially. And then he goes to this flea market because he wants to find data, which sounds a little vague, but makes sense later, I guess. Um, so he goes, and everyone is blobs, and then the police show up.
There's a few humans, but they're doing data drugs, whatever that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, and the police show up and do a thing and say like 90% of the crowd disappears, if not more.
Oh, they're doppels.
Yeah. So okay, kid goes and wanders off because the flea market is now officially closed. He supposes. He goes with his new data, which is some music,
Hmm.
uh, and we get a little bit of a monologue and a soliloquy, I guess, from him talking about how the world is and explaining a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, which was like, uh, okay, what was it? The Fractale system allowed people to do something. I got nothing. I don't really remember what it was. It was.
It's
Hmm.
entirely too complex. Um, but they transmit their daily life data to a server, and all their life data is kind of logged.
It's kind of like Soma, except without the existential yet. I'm assuming that comes into play later.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah. So all of that data is being logged and harvested by something that they apparently have to pray to every day, basically. And the prayer involves looking in a very specific direction and staring unblinkingly at it, which probably tells you all you need to know about what's really happening. Yeah, so he does that, but then something interrupts him when there's a girl on a glider or something, I think it was, and
Yeah.
some more police looking people in another flying machine of some type. And they're chasing her down, and he's listening to his music, but he gets buffeted by the winds or something, and so his
He
headphones come
kind of
out.
trips and his headphones come out, and
Right. He decides before that he decides to chase them down alongside them on his bike while they fly over the ocean. He's on an island, by the way, because of course he is. Like I say, we've seen this specific concept a few times. So yeah, he chases them alongside them and falls off his bike, and the headphones come out, and the girl sees him and just jumps off of her glider for some reason while the song plays incredibly loudly. He's a little
way
freaked out
louder
by
than
this.
a little recording device should play.
Yeah, well, future technology.
cinematic. Don't worry about it.
It's not an iPod, we promise.
Nope, they didn't pay us any branding money. Don't worry about it.
A lot like an iPod, but all right. So the police, like people, still trying to find the girl who supposedly jumped into the ocean. So the kid tries to find her himself, climbing down the cliffs to do so. Okay, pretty girl, stupid kid, teenager, makes sense. And luckily finds her, and she's injured. I think she was injured.
She is injured, kind of all over the place because she jumped off her glider, or plane, or whatever, and yeah, she didn't get it through that without a scratch. So
yeah, she landed on the cliffs, not below the cliffs. So, I feel like she wasn't injured enough, frankly. But all right. So he hides her from the police-ish that are flying around, and then takes her home. Which he tries to do quietly and not get the attention of his parents, blobs. But that does not work, and she causes a ruckus, and then his parents like, what the hell is this? Who is this girl? What the? And then he turns them off. So it's apparently a thing you can do when you're not the police. Just pretty much
they are
anyone can
doppels. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that means there's some sort of stand-ins for like kind of virtual sort of avatars his parents control at a distance, or if they're meant to just replace his parents and
Like
replicate their personalities.
Sort of like a data remnant kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Replicas of them.
I took it to be that he just had full control of the house, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he probably can't do it for all of the doppels, but he can do it for those ones, I guess. So yeah, she is perturbed that he would just turn off his parents, but he's like, whatever. They go upstairs, and he explains that he had been out looking for data and what he was doing and how he's fascinated by data in general of all types. Okay. And she takes off her clothes and asks him to help her because she can't bandage her back from her injuries.
Mm.
To which he makes a comment about her being inflexible. I guess. Okay.
He just says, "Oh, you're stiff," and he's just kind of like blushing because he's awkward teen kid.
I mean, in fairness, that is pretty stiff if you can't touch your hands behind your back. That's a little. Like,
Yeah.
I can do that, and I'm a fucking 30-year-old waste of a unfit and completely human.
You could just say shut it. I mean, you don't have to be so offensive about yourself.
Yeah. So, then the not police show up, knock on the door, and it's like, okay, I'll just go
We're
deal with
the
this.
ambulance. We're here. We heard about an injured person.
Yeah, this semi-serious show turned very goofy all of a sudden when these people showed up.
That was a hell of a tonal shift. Yeah, it's just like it was pretty serious, pretty no joke until now, and then these wacky Team Rocket-esque characters just show up.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the fact that we had wacky Team Rocket characters show up. I felt like it was taking itself too seriously.
I mean, they were pretty funny. I'll give you.
They feel like maybe a remnant of what this show is aping, because this is very... Yeah, I'm going to have to come out and say it. This is very like Feature Boy Conan.
Yes,
Like,
exactly. Actually,
almost beat for beat.
and I feel like we've seen other shows that have the same context of girl falls from sky or skyship or whatever. Boy who's kind of ignorant about the real plot is like, oh hey, call to adventure, here we go.
Yep.
It's
Boy
very classical.
lives on an island, is vaguely isolated in a way, finds a mysterious girl, and she is mysterious and gets injured, so he takes care of her, and she introduces him to a wider world of experiences and yada 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 yada.
Beat for beat.
Yep. So yeah, these not police are trying to find the girl. We're not sure why. But they basically break into his house and ransack the place while, kicking him out and slamming the door in his face. And they are very freaked out to find the girl's clothes left behind. And they're like, oh, what did you do to her and stuff. But...
It's lewd, it's perverted.
Yeah. But they don't find her. And then they leave. And like, what the fuck?
They leave and their ship kind of goes nutso because the girl took out like a single screw that was important.
Presumably the most important screw in the world, because I'm pretty sure that's not how that sort of thing works most of the time.
Might have been towards the like controls.
So yeah, they go somewhere, presumably crashing to their deaths. And then I don't remember where the show goes from there.
And then she and him talk, and
She's like a priest lady or something.
yeah, she's like some sort of priest lady. She doesn't want to open up. She leaves him with this item that's on her. Apparently has something to do with the church. Then he wakes up the next day and he's just like, "Oh, she's gone." That kind of pisses me off. I don't know why I'm so pissed, but I'm kind of pissed. And he is like, "Wait, this whole thing that she gave me is related to some sort of data storage thing." And then he accesses it, and then mascot girl appears.
Right. There was another character that I had assumed that First Girl was the female lead, but apparently not. Okay.
She's the character that will accompany him and give him exposition so he can go on his quest. Because there's literally nobody else around him that's human. So we have to give him that character.
I feel bad for the police. The police were real people.
Yeah, one of the few. I took it to mean that she was going to be super naive and ask all the questions, which seems a little redundant considering he seems kind of naive, or at least sheltered.
Well, we've
So
got two stages of exposition here. We've got exposition in general about the world that we don't know about that he does, and then we've got exposition about the greater world that she knows about that he doesn't.
Oh, okay, that's.
So yeah, this show has a unique selling point that they really didn't get into in the first episode, instead just going for the same script as things we've seen before, for the most part.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious if it gets better later. I did intend to watch more of it, but never got around.
Yeah, I can't say whether I like this one or not, because the one thing that is unique about it, they basically didn't show. So.
I enjoyed it. But it was very much a... Like, I kind of want to see what the whole deal is with this world, and I liked the animation, actually, a lot in this show.
That is to its credit. It
The
had pretty solid.
soundtrack, yeah, the soundtrack as well, also kind of, it felt very pleasant, and I enjoyed that. But it had a very classical feeling to it, and I feel like that was, intentional. And that kind of drew me towards it. As for the actual kind of writing, this feels like a show that definitely takes its time. It's obviously inspired by Future Boy Conan. But yeah, I'd be willing to give the show a shot. If only because it feels just relaxing at times just to watch it.
I'm curious. I mean, the big overarching plot of this, from what I can tell, is that the fractal system is breaking down. So that's kind of horrifying, considering that's where people are stored. So I'm curious if that's ever going to be explored, or that was just a one-off thing. And if they do explore, is it going to be a serious thing, or is it just like, I pressed some buttons and now I fixed it?
I don't think it would be that. I think it would definitely be more of a core point. Otherwise, why have this entire system built up?
I don't really know. I mean, to make it seem unique, I mean, anime have to have a hook, unfortunately.
Either way, I think this is one of those shows where judging it from the first episode doesn't really do it too many favors.
Yeah.
But I might check out the next couple episodes just to see where it goes.
Roll.
That being said, yeah,
we must roll.
I was about to say we should probably roll. So, what are the numbers? Are we back down to 26?
We're down to 26.
Yeah, because we got the one.
Jang yang.
Yang, yang, yang. Okay. 10.
J. And Silent Bob. Oh god, I forgot they were making a new movie about that.
Yeah, not only that, but they're putting on live shows. A coworker of mine went to it. Apparently, it was quite good.
Oh, that's surprising. Right, J. There's not many J's. 1, 2, 3. I forget what yellow means. Patient, what does yellow mean? I don't remember. Oh, whatever. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 left of this.
And the lucky number is 5.
Oh boy.
What do we got?
Junjo Romantica.
That feels like it should ring a bell, but isn't.
Misaki is suddenly having some unexpected and odd problems. What started as a need for some college entrance exam tutoring has somehow led him to being romanced by a suave older man who also happens to be his big brother's best friend. Confused by all of his brand new emotions, Misaki struggles to deal with his suddenly very odd life. And if that wasn't enough, his suitor, Usami, has plenty of issues of his own. A man-child who decorates his room in giant teddy bears and toys. Usami is a famous novelist who also writes steamy boys' love novels on the side. When Misaki cracks open one of these books and reads sentences like, "Oh Christ," Misaki licks every inch of Usami's hot body, and let's just say that all hell breaks loose. So basically, it's that Eromanga Sensei, only with boy love.
Oh, that's so much worse. No, it's actually about the same level of worseness, considering the age difference that's implied here.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody want to veto this?
Bear in mind, we have like 4 more episodes of this year.
Does anybody want to veto this?
I don't know if anyone has a veto left.
Do you? On a system?
I don't think so.
I have a veto left.
Would you like to use your veto?
I think I'd like to use my veto for patience' sake.
Okay. And mine. I don't really want to do Eromanga Sensei again. Only the boiler version.
Also, the whole, older man writing porn about you is really creepy.
I'm just gonna repeat. I don't want to do Eromanga Sensei again.
Yeah.
Basically says everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just gonna
fresh roll.
Yeah, like once again, we are not the people to review that kind of thing. It's so far outside of our wheelhouse. I'd argue we're not really the audience for Eromanga Sensei either, but that's culture for us. So
I rolled 26 again, and we got 5 this time.
5. There's not many E's left either. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
All right. There's a time when you just need to save your veto and then just use it right near the end of the year. 2.
2. Okay. Early rains. That's early with an E. Like, too soon rains. And rains is in the horses. Early Rains features 6 beautiful women on a train en route to Sunshine Hill in the early 1800s. When the train is hijacked by robbers and the soldiers on board are caught unawares, another surprise is in store. These lovely ladies can fight. The heroine emerges as Margaret, a young woman determined to become a sheriff, although she is somewhat lacking in experience and genitals. She gains plenty on this trip, however, and the ragtag team of Western warriors joins forces with another passenger, Spencer, to fight some nefarious bandits and guide the train to safety. Okay, sure.
Sure? Okay.
The and genitals was an editorial by me, by the way, because, it's the 1800s.
I assumed that was the case.
Presumably they conveniently ignore that part and just let it slide for the sake of, hey, pretty girls that kick ass. Which, fair enough.
Sure.
It's not that kind
Why
of show.
not?
So.
Sure, I'll see the Western show.
The Western thing we've seen a dozen other versions of. There is one episode. Someone needs to check that.
Guess we're not.
Is it an OVA? Like, how long is it?
Okay.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking people to check, because I can't.
I'm checking right now. It's a 44-minute OVA. Yeah, no. Or we're re-rolling.
Okay.
All right, 10.
Jay, there are... I guess there's... No, there's still 9. It can still come up again. Which would be the worst. I don't think we've ever had anything get vetoed and then immediately come up again.
I was re-rolling in the same category before. Because I think that's what we do when we can't find it. We stick
You're
to the letter.
absolutely right. We do that. You have saved us by reminding me of that rule. You have to re-roll it again.
I rolled out of the 12, so that's what the 10 was for.
Okay. Well, it should be rolling an 11, but we'll call it.
Yeah, I did lower it. I was just like, oh, whatever. If it's an 11, I'll...
8, 9, 10. 10?
Yeah.
Okay. You may be familiar with this one.
Oh, Eureka 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Eureka 7 tells the story of a 14-year-old named Renton. Renton?
I forgot that was his name.
Who lives with his mechanic grandfather and whose life is thrown somewhat off kilter when a mech called Nervash crashes into his house one day and a young girl called Eureka pops up asking for help to repair it. Shortly after, the military mechs get involved. Is this another one of these?
Yes, but it has mechs, so it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
No. It has a similar start, but it goes very differently.
We only watched the start.
I know. It's a good show. I like Eureka 7.
Okay.
I'm genuinely curious how fast it picks up, because I've forgotten.
Yes, I haven't seen it in years, so...
Alrighty.
Definitely curious how that holds up. All right. Well, we have our thing.
Just remind me, which one was the one that we couldn't do? Early Rains?
We couldn't do Early Rains. No. It's just a one... It was a 44-minute OVA.
Okay, I'll just find the fill tool for that. I don't know where it is. I'll find it when we're not on mic. Alright, so we're doing Eureka 7 as the anime for next week. Cool. Bye, everybody.
See you later.